In life, we often find ourselves at crossroads, uncertain of what the future holds. It is during these moments that we are called to trust in something greater than ourselves. Trusting God is not just an act of faith, it is a conscious decision to align our thoughts, emotions, and actions with the belief that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Faith is the foundation upon which everything in life is built. It is the unseen force that drives the unfolding of events, shaping our lives according to our beliefs and expectations. To understand the true power of faith, one must first grasp that it is not a passive state of hoping or wishing, rather. It is an active, conscious state of knowing. Faith transcends what the physical senses perceive and connects us to a higher reality, a reality where all things are possible, and limitations exist only in the mind. When we talk about faith, we are referring to an unshakable conviction that what we desire or believe in is already on its way to us. It is an inner certainty that, despite any appearances to the contrary, everything is aligning in our favor. This type of faith is not dependent on evidence from the outside world. In fact, faith thrives in the absence of visible proof. It is easy to have confidence when everything seems to be going according to plan, but true faith is tested and strengthened when nothing in the outer world reflects what we are hoping for. It is during these times that we are called to trust deeply in the unseen and remain steadfast in our inner belief. Faith as a foundation means recognizing that our reality is shaped first by our inner world. What we hold in our thoughts, what we believe to be true, and what we expect all have a profound impact on what manifests in our lives. The external world is merely a reflection of our inner state of being. When faith becomes our foundation, it shifts the way we see and experience life. Instead of reacting to circumstances, we begin to influence them through the power of belief. This is because faith draws experiences to us that are in alignment with our beliefs. If we have faith that things will work out, life will rearrange itself to fulfill that expectation. If, on the other hand, we hold on to doubt or fear, those emotions will shape our reality in similar ways. At the core of this principle is the understanding that faith requires us to live from the end. By living from the end, we mean adopting the mindset, feelings, and actions of someone who already has what they desire. Instead of waiting for evidence of success before believing in it, we embody the faith that success is already ours. This shift in consciousness creates a powerful resonance with the outcome we seek, drawing it closer to us. Faith allows us to transcend the limitations of time and space, recognizing that the future we desire is not a distant reality, but a present possibility. It is this present possibility that we align with through faith, creating a bridge between what is seen and what is unseen. Faith is also an expression of trust in the divine, trust in the process, and trust in oneself. When faith is the foundation of our actions, we no longer rely solely on our physical senses or logical reasoning to guide us. We tap into a deeper knowing that transcends the limitations of the mind. This type of faith does not waver in the face of adversity, because it knows that even challenges and obstacles are part of the unfolding path. They are not barriers, but stepping stones that guide us toward our ultimate destination. Faith is not something that can be half-hearted. It demands full commitment. A mind divided between faith and doubt is like a house divided against itself. It cannot stand. To truly have faith as the foundation of our lives, we must let go of doubt entirely. This does not mean that we will never have moments of uncertainty, but it does mean that in those moments we must reaffirm our belief in the outcome we desire. We must remind ourselves that faith is not contingent upon what we see or experience in the physical world. It is a force that exists beyond that. Living with faith as a foundation also changes our relationship with time. When we operate from a place of faith, we no longer rush or force things to happen. Instead, we trust that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. Faith teaches us patience because it knows that all things are brought forth in the right season. This does not mean inaction, rather. It means taking inspired action that is aligned with our inner conviction, not driven by fear or impatience. Faith allows us to move through life with a sense of calm assurance, knowing that what is meant for us cannot miss us, and what we are working toward will manifest at the right time. Faith as a foundation allows us to embrace uncertainty with confidence. Life is full of unknowns, and often we fear what we cannot predict or control. But when faith is at the core of our being, uncertainty no longer feels like a threat. Instead, it becomes an opportunity, a space in which new possibilities can emerge. Faith turns the unknown into a canvas for creation, where we can paint the picture of our desired reality with the colors of our belief. In the end, faith as a foundation is about more than just believing in something outside of ourselves. It is about understanding that the power to create, manifest, and shape our lives begins within. Faith empowers us to be co-creators of our reality, aligning us with the divine flow, and allowing us to experience life not as a series of random events, but as a purposeful and intentional journey. Patience is a virtue that often feels difficult to cultivate, yet it is one of the most powerful aspects of personal growth and spiritual development. It is the ability to remain calm and steadfast, even when things do not seem to be moving at the pace we desire. Patience is not simply waiting for something to happen, it is about how we wait. It is about maintaining faith and trust during the waiting period, knowing that everything unfolds in its own time. When we embrace patience, we allow life to evolve naturally, without forcing or rushing outcomes, and in doing so, we align ourselves with the divine flow of life. Patience is intricately connected to the concept of faith. When we have faith in something, whether it is in ourselves, a process, or a higher power, we inherently acknowledge that the outcome is already set in motion. However, the manifestation of that outcome requires time to come into being. This is where patience steps in. Patience is the bridge between belief and realization. It is the quiet inner strength that holds us steady while life works behind the scenes to bring forth what we have envisioned. The challenge lies in trusting the timing of things, especially when the physical world presents delays or obstacles that seem to contradict our desires. What makes patience virtuous is that it teaches us to let go of our attachment to immediate results. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, patience can feel counterintuitive. We are often conditioned to expect quick outcomes and to measure progress by how fast something happens. Yet true progress, especially in matters of personal transformation, spiritual growth, or even the realization of goals, requires time. Patience allows us to trust the process without succumbing to frustration or doubt when things take longer than expected. It encourages us to stay present in each moment, appreciating the journey as much as the destination. Patience is also about resilience. It teaches us how to remain grounded in our intentions, even when circumstances seem to push us in different directions. There will inevitably be times when we face delays, challenges, or setbacks, but these are not signs of failure or reasons to give up. Instead, they are opportunities to practice patience. They are reminders that the timing of life is not always in our control, but that doesn't mean the outcome we desire is not coming. Patience allows us to view these moments not as obstacles, but as necessary steps in the unfolding of a greater plan. When we practice patience, we cultivate a deeper sense of trust not only in life, but also in ourselves. We develop the understanding that we are capable of waiting without anxiety or fear. Patience is not passive, it requires active engagement with our emotions and thoughts. It involves managing our expectations, staying focused on the bigger picture, and refusing to be swayed by the temporary discomfort of waiting. It is an inner discipline, one that strengthens us and builds our character over time. Moreover, patience helps us gain perspective. When we are in a rush, we often lose sight of important details, make hasty decisions, or overlook valuable lessons along the way. Patience, however, slows us down enough to truly observe what is happening around and within us. It gives us the space to reflect, to learn, and to adjust our approach if necessary. In this way, patience enhances our ability to make thoughtful decisions and to act with greater wisdom. It reminds us that the process itself is just as important as the outcome, and that sometimes the greatest rewards come from the lessons we learn while waiting. Patience is also deeply tied to the concept of surrender. When we are patient, we surrender our need for control over the timing and specifics of how things unfold. We release the constant pressure to make things happen on our own terms and trust that life knows the best way to bring our desires to fruition. This surrender does not mean giving up on our goals or desires. It means releasing the stress and tension associated with trying to force outcomes. In surrendering, we open ourselves up to the possibility that what is coming may be even better than what we had imagined, or that the delay itself may be preparing us for something greater. One of the most important aspects of patience is that it fosters inner peace. When we are impatient, we are often filled with anxiety, frustration, or doubt. These emotions can cloud our judgment and prevent us from seeing opportunities that are right in front of us. Patience, on the other hand, brings calmness and clarity. It allows us to relax into the present moment, confident that everything is unfolding as it should. This sense of peace creates a space for new ideas, solutions, and inspirations to emerge, which might not have been possible in a state of impatience. In practicing patience, we also learn the value of persistence. Patience is not about sitting idly by, waiting for things to magically fall into place. It is about staying committed to our vision, consistently taking steps toward our goals, even when progress seems slow or invisible. It is the ability to keep going, to keep believing, and to keep putting in the work, knowing that the results will come in time. Patience builds endurance, and it is through this endurance that we often find the strength to achieve what we once thought was impossible. Patience as a virtue is about cultivating trust in the process of life. It teaches us to relax into the natural rhythm of the universe, understanding that everything has its season. When we embrace patience, we free ourselves from the anxiety of trying to control every aspect of our lives and instead allow things to unfold in their own time, knowing that what is meant for us will always find its way. Letting go of control is one of the most liberating yet challenging aspects of life. It requires a deep sense of trust, not only in the universe but also in the process that guides everything. Often we are taught to believe that controlling every detail of our lives will ensure the outcomes we desire. We create plans, set goals, and map out steps, believing that strict adherence to these will lead us to success. However, life rarely unfolds in a linear fashion. The reality is that our need to control can become the very thing that blocks us from experiencing the flow of life and the unfolding of possibilities that are far beyond what we could have planned. Letting go of control does not mean giving up on your desires or abandoning your dreams. Instead, it is about releasing the need to micromanage every aspect of how those dreams come to fruition. It is about understanding that while we have power over our intentions, thoughts, and actions, we do not always have control over the timing or the specific manner in which things manifest. By letting go of control, we allow space for the natural unfolding of events, trusting that what is meant to be will happen in the right way and at the right time. Control stems from a fear of the unknown. As humans, we naturally want to predict and direct outcomes to minimize uncertainty. However, this need for control can lead to frustration, anxiety, and resistance when things do not go as planned. We may cling tightly to a specific outcome, thinking that it is the only path to happiness or success, and in doing so, we close ourselves off of other possibilities. Letting go of control means releasing that tight grip and embracing the idea that there may be alternate routes or even better outcomes than we initially envisioned. It is an act of surrender, not to defeat, but to the wisdom of a higher order that knows more than we can perceive. Letting go also invites trust in life, in the timing of events, and in our own inner wisdom. It is a recognition that we are not the sole architects of our destiny. There is a larger divine intelligence at play, and when we allow ourselves to flow with this intelligence, we often find that things unfold with far more ease and grace than we could have imagined. When we let go, we shift from a state of fear-driven action to one of inspired action. Instead of pushing and forcing outcomes, we begin to act from a place of alignment with what feels right in the moment, trusting that these actions will lead us toward our highest good. Letting go of control requires faith, not blind faith, but a knowing that we are supported and guided even when things seem uncertain or chaotic. It is understanding that life has a rhythm and a flow that is not always visible to us, but which is always working in our favor. The more we try to control outcomes, the more we create resistance. This resistance often leads to more obstacles and delays, because we are working against the natural flow of life. By letting go, we remove that resistance and allow things to move in their own time and way. This doesn't mean we stop taking action. Rather, we take action from a place of trust, knowing that the right doors will open when we are ready. The act of letting go also cultivates peace within us. When we release the need for control, we free ourselves from the constant stress and anxiety that comes with trying to force things into place. We no longer need to obsess over every detail, worrying whether we are doing enough or if things will work out. Instead, we can relax into the present moment, knowing that we are exactly where we need to be, and everything is unfolding as it should. This sense of inner peace allows us to approach life with greater clarity, creativity, and openness. In letting go of control, we also give ourselves permission to be flexible and adaptable. Life is full of surprises, and things often do not go as planned. When we are rigid in our approach, we limit our ability to respond to these surprises in a positive and constructive way. However, when we let go of control, we become more fluid and able to pivot when necessary. We see challenges as opportunities rather than setbacks, and we remain open to new possibilities that we may not have considered before. This flexibility allows us to navigate the uncertainties of life with greater ease and grace. Letting go of control is an act of self-compassion. Often our desire for control comes from a place of self-judgment and perfectionism. We believe that we must have everything figured out, and that any deviation from our plan is a reflection of our inadequacy. This mindset creates unnecessary pressure and stress, leading to burnout and frustration. By letting go of control, we release the unrealistic expectations we place on ourselves and allow room for growth, learning, and evolution. We accept that it's okay not to have all the answers, and that the journey itself is just as valuable as the destination. Letting go also enhances our relationships with others. When we try to control not only our lives but the lives of those around us, we create tension and conflict. We may impose our expectations or desires on others, thinking we know what is best for them, but this often leads to resentment and resistance. By letting go of control, we allow others the freedom to follow their own path, trusting that they too are guided in their own way. This creates a space for more authentic and harmonious connections, where each person is free to express themselves and grow in their own time. Letting go of control is about trusting in the greater plan of life. It is about realizing that while we have a role in shaping our reality, we are not the sole creators. There is a balance between taking action and allowing, between striving and surrendering. When we find that balance, we discover a deeper sense of peace, joy, and fulfillment, knowing that we are co-creators in a process that is far greater than ourselves. Letting go of control is not about giving up, it is about giving in to the flow of life and trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if we cannot yet see the full picture. Alignment with the divine will is a concept that transcends ordinary human desires and plans, inviting us into a deeper relationship with the source of all creation. It is the act of surrendering personal control and ego-driven intentions in favor of trusting a higher power, a force greater than ourselves, that governs the unfolding of life. To align with the divine will means to trust that the universe has an inherent wisdom, a plan that, if we allow ourselves to follow, leads to the fulfillment of our highest potential. When we speak of divine will, we refer to the ultimate purpose that exists beyond our limited understanding. It is not about abandoning our goals or dreams, but rather aligning those goals with a purpose that is in harmony with the greater good. Divine will does not negate our desires. Instead, it refines and expands them, ensuring that what we seek is in line with what is best for our growth, development, and the world around us. In this sense, aligning with the divine will is an act of trust, a trust that the universe knows the right path for us, even when we do not see it clearly. At the core of this alignment is the willingness to let go of personal resistance. Resistance occurs when we try to impose our will on the world, insisting that things unfold according to our own timeline or expectations. We may become frustrated or disappointed when life does not go as planned, but this frustration often arises from a lack of alignment with the flow of life itself. The divine will operates on its own rhythm, one that may not always match our immediate desires, but which always leads us to where we need to be. Aligning with this will require the humility to acknowledge that there are forces at work far beyond our control, guiding us towards something greater than we can comprehend in the moment. This alignment is not about passivity or inaction. It is about moving in harmony with the deeper current of life, understanding that our role is to respond to the guidance we receive rather than trying to dictate every step. It requires listening to the subtle nudges, the quiet inspirations, and the inner knowing that directs us toward the right choices. Often these signals may seem illogical or counterintuitive to the rational mind, but they come from a place of deeper wisdom. When we align with the divine will, we learn to trust this guidance, knowing that it leads us exactly where we need to go. Aligning with the divine will also invite us to relinquish control over outcomes. This does not mean abandoning our goals, but rather trusting that the universe knows the best way to bring them into reality. Our job is to set clear intentions and take inspired action, but the how and when of those intentions coming to fruition is not always ours to decide. When we align with divine will, we allow life to unfold in its own time and manner, trusting that everything happens for a reason and in perfect timing. This trust frees us from the anxiety and impatience that often accompany our attempts to force things into place. Moreover, alignment with the divine will foster a deep sense of peace and contentment. When we stop fighting against the natural flow of life, we open ourselves up to the joy and beauty of the present moment. We no longer feel the need to rush or force outcomes, because we trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This state of inner peace is a hallmark of alignment with divine will. Divine will, it is the calm assurance that we are on the right path, even if the road ahead is not entirely clear. This alignment also transforms how we view challenges and obstacles. Instead of seeing them as roadblocks, we begin to understand them as necessary parts of our journey. They are not punishments or signs of failure, but opportunities for growth, learning, and redirection. When we are aligned with the divine will, we approach these challenges with curiosity and openness, asking what they have to teach us rather than resisting them. We recognize that sometimes what we perceive as setbacks are actually the universe guiding us towards something better, something more aligned with our true purpose. In aligning with the divine will, we also tap into a profound sense of purpose. Our actions become infused with meaning because we are no longer acting solely for personal gain, but in service to a greater plan. This sense of purpose elevates our daily experiences, transforming even mundane tasks into acts of devotion. We begin to see ourselves as instruments through which the divine can work, and this shift in perspective brings a deep sense of fulfillment. No longer are we driven by the need for external validation or achievement. Instead, we are motivated by the knowledge that we are contributing to something far larger than ourselves. Another key aspect of aligning with the divine will is the cultivation of patience. The divine operates on its own timeline, and often things may not manifest as quickly as we would like. However, this delay is not a sign that we are off course. In fact, it is often during these periods of waiting that the most profound growth occurs. Aligning with the divine will means trusting that even in moments of stillness or delay, life is working behind the scenes to bring everything together. Patience becomes a natural byproduct of this alignment, because we understand that everything happens in divine timing. Aligning with the divine will calls for faith. Faith is the anchor that keeps us grounded when the path ahead is uncertain. It is the unwavering belief that we are supported, guided, and loved, even when we cannot see the full picture. This faith allows us to surrender our fears and doubts, knowing that the universe is always working in our favor. In moments of uncertainty, faith reminds us that we are never alone, and that the divine is always with us, leading us toward our highest good. Aligning with the divine will is a process of surrendering to the flow of life while actively participating in it. It is about trusting that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, and that our role is to move in harmony with the guidance we receive. This alignment brings with it a deep sense of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. As we let go of the need to control and instead embrace the wisdom and timing of the universe. Through this alignment, we find that life unfolds with far more grace, ease, and joy than we could have ever imagined. The power of inner conviction is one of the most profound forces guiding human experience. It is the unshakable belief in something beyond the evidence of the senses, a deep-rooted assurance that what you believe to be true will come to pass. This conviction is not based on wishful thinking or fleeting desires, but is rooted in a knowing that defies logic and transcends external circumstances. When one possesses this inner certainty, it acts as a magnetic force, drawing experiences, people, and opportunities into alignment with that belief. Inner conviction starts with a clear understanding of what you want, but it extends far beyond mere desire. It requires cultivating an unwavering sense of certainty that no matter what appears to be happening on the surface, your desired outcome is already on its way to you. This is where many people falter. They allow doubt, fear, and external conditions to weaken their conviction. However, the true power of inner conviction lies in its ability to persist, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. At its core, conviction is about faith, not blind faith in the abstract, but faith in your ability to shape your reality through the power of your thoughts and beliefs. This belief in your creative power is what fuels the strength of your conviction. When you are deeply convinced of something, there is no room for doubt or hesitation. You operate from a place of knowing, where the outcome feels as real and tangible to you as if it had already happened. This is the state of mind that allows you to move through challenges, setbacks, and delays without losing sight of your goal. One of the most powerful aspects of inner conviction is that it aligns your entire being, your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to create. When you are deeply convinced of something, your mind automatically starts to focus on that outcome. Your emotions follow suit, generating feelings of excitement, anticipation, and confidence. Your actions, in turn, become purposeful and aligned with your belief. This alignment creates a powerful momentum that propels you toward your desired outcome, often in ways that seem effortless or even miraculous. The power of conviction also lies in its ability to influence the world around you. Just as a magnet draws objects toward it, your conviction can draw circumstances and people that are in harmony with your belief. This is not a mystical process. It is a reflection of how reality responds to the energy we project. When you are convinced that something will happen, you radiate a certain energy that others can sense. This energy shapes how people respond to you, the opportunities that come your way, and the overall flow of events in your life. Inner conviction is not something that can be faked or forced. It must come from a deep, authentic place within you. To develop this conviction, you must first become clear about what you truly desire. This requires self-honesty and reflection, as many people are unclear about what they want or are driven by external pressures and expectations. Once you have clarity, the next step is to cultivate a belief in your ability to bring that desire into reality. This belief comes from understanding the creative power of your mind and the laws that govern manifestation. It is a practice of continually affirming your belief, even in the face of obstacles, and refusing to entertain doubt. Doubt is the enemy of conviction, and it often arises when external circumstances contradict your desired outcome. It's easy to believe in something when everything is going smoothly, but the true test of conviction comes when things seem to be going wrong. In these moments, your inner conviction must be stronger than the external evidence. You must hold firm to your belief, trusting that the outcome is already assured, even if you cannot yet see it. This unwavering faith is what separates those who manifest their desires from those who give up at the first sign of difficulty. Another key aspect of inner conviction is persistence. Conviction is not a one-time act of belief, but a continual process of reaffirming your faith in the face of challenges. It is about holding on to your belief through every setback, delay, or disappointment, knowing that these are temporary and cannot override the power of your conviction. The longer you hold on to your belief, the more power it gathers, and eventually this power will manifest in the physical world. Inner conviction also requires a certain level of detachment. While it is important to be deeply convinced of your desired outcome, it is equally important to let go of how and when that outcome will manifest. This detachment allows you to remain open to the infinite possibilities through which your desire can come into being. Often, our limited perspective can block the very thing we want by insisting it must happen in a specific way or on a specific timeline. By trusting in the process and remaining flexible, you allow the universe to deliver your desire in the most efficient and harmonious way. Inner conviction is also about consistency. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions must be consistently aligned with your belief, day after day, moment after moment. This doesn't mean that you won't have moments of doubt or fear, but it does mean that you don't allow those moments to take root. You return to your conviction, reaffirming your belief, and continuing to move forward with faith and determination. Over time, this consistency strengthens your conviction, making it an unshakable force in your life. The power of inner conviction is one of the greatest tools you have for creating the life you desire. It is not about wishing or hoping for things to happen, but about knowing, with every fiber of your being, that they will. This knowing creates a vibrational match between you and your desired outcome, drawing it into your reality in ways that often feel effortless. When you operate from a place of deep conviction, you become a powerful co-creator of your life, able to manifest your desires with clarity, purpose, and ease. Inner conviction is the foundation upon which all manifestation is built. It is the key to turning your desires into reality and the force that allows you to overcome obstacles, transcend limitations, and achieve your highest potential. The more you cultivate this conviction, the more you will experience the power of your own creative ability and the infinite possibilities that life has to offer. Navigating uncertainty with confidence is an essential skill in the journey of life. We are often faced with situations where the future is unclear, where outcomes are unknown, and where the path ahead seems uncertain. Yet it is precisely in these moments of uncertainty that confidence becomes a powerful tool, allowing you to move forward with faith rather than fear. Confidence in this context is not about being certain of every step, but about trusting yourself, your abilities, and the higher plan that is unfolding, even when the path isn't clear. Uncertainty is an inevitable part of life, and trying to eliminate it entirely is both unrealistic and counterproductive. Instead, the key is to embrace it, seeing it not as something to be feared, but as an opportunity for growth, learning, and transformation. Confidence allows you to navigate these unknowns with a sense of inner stability. It's not about knowing exactly how everything will work out, but about trusting that, no matter what happens, you will handle it, learn from it, and ultimately benefit from it. Confidence in times of uncertainty begins with a shift in mindset. It's about seeing uncertainty not as a threat, but as an open field of possibilities. When you view uncertainty through the lens of fear, you shrink back, paralyzed by doubt and hesitation. But when you approach it with confidence, you expand into the unknown, seeing it as a space where new opportunities, solutions, and experiences can arise. It's a mental shift from asking, "What if everything goes wrong?" to asking, "What if everything goes right?" This shift in perspective is crucial, because the energy you bring to uncertain situations directly influences the outcomes you experience. If you approach uncertainty with fear and doubt, you are likely to attract outcomes that mirror those emotions. But if you move forward with confidence, trusting that things will work out in your favor, you create a vibrational alignment with success, growth, and positive outcomes. This is why confidence is so powerful it acts as a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you believe in your ability to navigate the unknown, the universe responds in kind, bringing you the resources, people, and opportunities that align with your belief. A significant part of navigating uncertainty with confidence lies in trusting the process. Life rarely unfolds in a straight line. There are twists, turns, and unexpected detours along the way. Confidence allows you to trust that each step, even the ones that seem to take you off course, is part of a larger plan that is ultimately leading you toward your goal. This trust doesn't mean that you won't encounter challenges or setbacks, but it does mean that you approach those challenges with a sense of inner certainty that they are temporary and that you will overcome them. Confidence also allows you to take action, even when the way forward isn't entirely clear. Many people wait for the perfect conditions before they make a move. They want certainty, guarantees, and a clear roadmap. But life doesn't work that way. Often the clarity you seek comes only after you take the first step. Confidence gives you the courage to take that step, knowing that the path will unfold as you move forward. It's about trusting that the next step will become clear once you're in motion, rather than waiting for every piece of the puzzle to fall into place before you begin. When navigating uncertainty, confidence is not just about believing in positive outcomes, but also about believing in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. This inner trust is rooted in the understanding that, regardless of external circumstances, you have the strength, wisdom, and resilience to navigate through challenges. This belief allows you to face uncertainty with a calm and composed mind, knowing that even if things don't go as planned, you have the capacity to adapt, adjust, and thrive. Another key aspect of confidence in uncertain times is the ability to remain flexible. Confidence is not about rigidly holding onto a specific outcome or path, but about being open to the idea that the universe may have a better plan for you than the one you envisioned. When you trust in a higher order, you are willing to let go of control and allow life to unfold in ways that might surprise you. This openness to the unknown is a hallmark of true confidence, as it shows a deep trust in both yourself and the process of life. In many ways, navigating uncertainty with confidence is an act of faith in yourself, in the timing of life, and in the idea that everything is happening for your highest good. This faith allows you to remain grounded, even when the future seems unclear. It helps you to maintain a positive outlook, stay focused on your goals, and move forward with intention, despite not knowing exactly how things will turn out. Confidence in the face of uncertainty also empowers you to make decisions without being paralyzed by doubt. One of the most challenging aspects of uncertainty is the fear of making the wrong choice. But confidence helps you to trust your intuition and make decisions from a place of inner clarity. Even if the outcome of a decision isn't immediately clear, your confidence allows you to trust that, whatever the result, you will learn and grow from the experience. This ability to make decisions, even in the absence of certainty, is a key factor in moving forward in life. Navigating uncertainty with confidence is about cultivating an inner state of assurance that is not dependent on external circumstances. It's about developing an unshakable belief in yourself, your abilities, and the process of life. This confidence gives you the strength to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear, and to trust that, no matter what happens, you are always being guided toward your highest potential. The power of this confidence lies in its ability to transform uncertainty from a source of fear into a gateway for growth, possibility, and endless potential. God's timing is perfect, though it may not always align with our own desires or expectations. As human beings, we often find ourselves impatient, wanting things to happen according to our schedule. We look at the clock, set deadlines for our dreams and goals, and become frustrated when life doesn't seem to cooperate with our plans. But when we begin to understand the greater picture, we realize that there is a higher order at work, one that operates beyond our limited perspective of time. Trusting in God's timing means recognizing that the delays, detours, and pauses in our life are not obstacles, but part of a divine orchestration that is unfolding for our ultimate good. When we say God's timing is perfect, it implies a level of trust that goes beyond what we can see or understand. It requires us to let go of the need to control every detail and to surrender to the flow of life, trusting that everything is happening at exactly the right moment. This is not always easy, especially in moments of waiting, where we feel like nothing is moving or progressing. In those times, we might question why certain things haven't manifested yet, despite our efforts and our faith. But it is precisely in these moments that we must remind ourselves that God's timing is not random, it is deliberate, calculated, and aligned with a higher purpose. Often we think we know when things should happen in our lives. We have a vision, we work hard, and we expect results within a certain time frame. However, God's timing operates outside the boundaries of our linear thinking. We might perceive a delay as a setback, but from a divine perspective, that delay could be necessary to prepare us for what is to come. Sometimes we are not ready to receive what we are asking for. Other times, the circumstances are not yet aligned in a way that would support the fulfillment of our desires. God's timing ensures that everything falls into place at the right time for our benefit. In hindsight, we often see how certain delays or disappointments were actually blessings in disguise. What we initially perceived as a failure or a missed opportunity was, in fact, an essential part of our growth process. When we look back, we realize that had things happened earlier or on our own timeline, we might not have been ready to handle the responsibility or the magnitude of what we were asking for. God's timing protects us from receiving things prematurely and ensures that when we do receive them, we are fully equipped to handle them with wisdom and grace. There is also a profound element of trust that comes with embracing God's timing, trusting that everything is happening as it should, even when it seems like nothing is happening at all, requires a deep faith in the unseen. This trust is not passive, it is active and intentional. It is a decision to believe that the universe is always working on our behalf, even when we cannot see the evidence. This kind of trust is rooted in the understanding that delays are not denials, and that every moment of waiting serves a purpose. During times of waiting, we are often being shaped and molded into the people we need to become in order to fully receive and sustain the blessings that are on their way. God's timing is not just about bringing things to us at the right moment, it is also about preparing us to be the right people when those things arrive. There is an internal work happening during these periods that we may not be aware of, but that is essential to our development. Patience, perseverance, and trust are being cultivated, and these qualities are often what enable us to truly appreciate and maintain the gifts we receive. God's timing also teaches us the importance of alignment. When we align ourselves with divine timing, we begin to see that everything happens for a reason and in perfect harmony with the greater plan. We start to notice how the events of our lives are interconnected, how one seemingly insignificant moment can lead to a life-changing opportunity down the road. This realization brings a sense of peace, knowing that we don't have to force or rush things to happen. We simply have to remain aligned, trust the process, and allow God's perfect timing to unfold naturally. Sometimes what feels like a long wait is actually a time of protection. There are instances when what we desire is not what is best for us, or when certain circumstances would bring more harm than good if they were to manifest too soon. God's timing ensures that we are protected from such outcomes, even when we cannot see the potential dangers ourselves. This protection may feel like frustration or disappointment in the moment, but with time we come to understand the wisdom behind it. There is a rhythm to life, a divine timing that orchestrates everything in the universe, from the rise and fall of the tides to the unfolding of our personal journeys. Trusting in this timing allows us to live with a greater sense of peace and ease. We no longer feel the need to rush or to manipulate circumstances to fit our expectations. Instead, we can relax into the flow of life, knowing that everything is happening exactly as it should. When we truly embrace the concept of God's timing, we begin to understand that the things we are waiting for are already on their way to us. They are not delayed, but are simply arriving at the precise moment when we are ready to receive them. This realization frees us from the anxiety and impatience that often accompany the waiting process. We can let go of our timelines and trust that the universe is always working for our highest good, even when it feels like nothing is happening. God's timing is a reminder that we are part of a larger divine plan, and that every moment of our lives is intricately woven into this plan. It teaches us patience, faith, and the ability to trust in something greater than ourselves. When we align with this divine timing, we begin to see that life is not happening to us, but for us, and that everything is unfolding in perfect harmony with the greater purpose of our existence. Trusting the process of life requires a deep sense of faith in the unseen forces at work, guiding us toward our highest potential. It is about surrendering control and accepting that life unfolds in its own way, at its own pace, regardless of our personal timelines or expectations. This trust in the process is not passive resignation, but an active decision to embrace whatever comes, understanding that every event, challenge, or delay serves a higher purpose. When you trust the process, you align yourself with the flow of life, moving with its currents rather than fighting against them. Many times we get caught up in the details of how we think life should unfold. We create plans, set goals, and expect everything to go according to our designs. But life has a way of introducing unexpected twists and turns that can throw us off course. It is in these moments that trusting the process becomes essential. Instead of resisting or feeling frustrated, trusting the process allows us to accept these changes as part of the journey. We may not understand the reasons behind every detour or delay, but trusting the process reminds us that everything is happening for a reason, even if that reason is not immediately apparent. Trusting the process also means letting go of the need for instant results. In a world where we are conditioned to expect immediate gratification, it can be difficult to remain patient and trust that everything is unfolding in its own time. Yet, the most meaningful transformations often occur over time through a series of small, seemingly insignificant steps. Trusting the process requires faith that even when progress seems slow or invisible, we are still moving forward. Every experience, no matter how minor it may seem, contributes to our growth and evolution. Life is not linear, and trusting the process means accepting the ebb and flow of experiences. There will be moments of rapid progress, followed by periods of stillness or even regression. These cycles are natural, and they serve a purpose in our development. The periods of stillness are often times of reflection, integration, and preparation for the next phase of growth. Trusting the process means embracing these quiet times without feeling the need to force things to happen. It is about knowing that the pauses are just as important as the forward movement, and that they are part of the overall rhythm of life. When we trust the process, we release the need to know exactly how everything will turn out. This doesn't mean we stop setting goals or working toward our desires, but it means we stop obsessing over the outcome. Trusting the process is about focusing on the present moment and doing what we can with what we have, without becoming attached to the results. It is about understanding that we cannot always control the timing or the form in which our desires manifest, but we can control our attitude and approach. By remaining open and flexible, we allow life to unfold in ways that often exceed our expectations. A key part of trusting the process is accepting that challenges and obstacles are not roadblocks, but opportunities for growth. When we encounter difficulties, it's easy to become discouraged and question whether we are on the right path. However, trusting the process means viewing these challenges as essential parts of the journey. Every obstacle presents a chance to learn, to develop resilience, and to deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. The process of life includes both the highs and the lows, and trusting it means embracing both with equal gratitude. There is also an element of trust in oneself that comes with trusting the process. When we trust the process of life, we also trust that we have the strength, wisdom, and resources to navigate whatever comes our way. This inner trust is what allows us to remain calm and centered, even in the face of uncertainty. It is the confidence that, no matter what happens, we are capable of handling it and will come out stronger on the other side. Trusting the process is as much about trusting ourselves as it is about trusting the external circumstances. Trusting the process also involves surrendering to the idea that there is a greater intelligence at work in the universe. Whether you call it divine order, the universe, or something else, there is a guiding force that orchestrates the events of our lives in ways that we cannot always comprehend. Trusting the process means acknowledging that we are not in control of everything, and that sometimes the best course of action is to surrender to this greater wisdom. This surrender is not about giving up, it is about releasing the need to micromanage every detail and allowing life to flow naturally. One of the most powerful aspects of trusting the process is the peace that comes with it. When we stop trying to control everything and trust that life is unfolding as it should, we free ourselves from the anxiety and stress that come with constantly pushing and striving. Trusting the process allows us to relax into the journey, knowing that everything is working out in our favor, even when it doesn't seem like it. This sense of peace enables us to move through life with greater ease and grace, knowing that we are always being guided toward our highest good. Trusting the process also means being patient with ourselves. Growth and change take time, and there will be moments when we feel stuck or frustrated with our progress. But trusting the process reminds us that we are exactly where we need to be, and that every step we take, no matter how small, is bringing us closer to our goals. It encourages us to be gentle with ourselves, to celebrate our progress, and to remain committed to the journey, even when the results are not immediately visible. Trusting the process of life is about cultivating a deep sense of faith in the unfolding of our journey. It is about recognizing that life is not something to be controlled or forced, but something to be experienced with openness, curiosity, and trust. When we trust the process, we allow life to reveal its magic in ways we could never have planned or predicted. We surrender our need for certainty and embrace the unknown, knowing that every twist and turn is part of a greater plan that is leading us toward our highest potential. Releasing doubt and fear is one of the most transformative practices you can undertake in your life. These two emotions, often intertwined, have a way of holding you back from reaching your fullest potential. When doubt creeps in, it causes you to question your abilities, your worth, and the path you are on. Fear amplifies this uncertainty, magnifying every perceived obstacle and making challenges appear insurmountable. Together, doubt and fear can paralyze you, keeping you stuck in a cycle of hesitation and self-limitation. But when you begin the process of releasing these emotions, you open the door to a life of confidence, freedom, and limitless possibility. The first step to releasing doubt and fear is recognizing their presence. So often, these emotions operate quietly in the background, influencing your thoughts and decisions without you even being fully aware of them. You may find yourself hesitating to take action, second-guessing your choices, or procrastinating on pursuing your dreams. These are all signs that doubt and fear are at play. By bringing awareness to these subtle patterns, you take the first step in loosening their grip on your mind. Once you recognize the presence of doubt and fear, it's important to understand their origins. These emotions often stem from past experiences where you felt uncertain, insecure, or afraid. Perhaps you faced rejection, failure, or criticism, and these moments left an imprint on your psyche. You began to internalize the idea that you were not capable, not worthy, or not enough. These limiting beliefs can grow over time, feeding into your doubts and fears whenever you step outside your comfort zone. However, recognizing that these emotions are rooted in past experiences helps you separate them from the present reality. What happened in the past does not define what is possible for you now. One of the most powerful ways to release doubt and fear is by shifting your focus from external outcomes to internal conviction. When your sense of self-worth and security are tied to external circumstances, such as whether you succeed or fail at a task, it's easy to fall into a cycle of doubt and fear. However, when you cultivate a strong inner belief in yourself, independent of any external outcome, you begin to break free from these limitations. You start to trust in your inherent worth and ability to navigate whatever challenges come your way, regardless of the result. Releasing doubt and fear also involves challenging the thoughts that fuel them. Often these emotions are sustained by negative and limiting beliefs that you hold about yourself or the world. For instance, you may believe that you are not capable enough to succeed, or that failure is something to be feared and avoided at all costs. These beliefs are not facts, they are simply interpretations you have made based on your past experiences. By questioning these beliefs and replacing them with more empowering ones, you begin to dismantle the foundation upon which doubt and fear are built. Visualization can also be a powerful tool in releasing doubt and fear. By vividly imagining yourself succeeding, overcoming challenges, and moving confidently toward your goals, you begin to rewire your brain to expect positive outcomes. This practice strengthens your belief in your own capabilities and diminishes the power that doubt and fear have over you. The mind doesn't always distinguish between real and imagined experiences, so the more you visualize yourself succeeding, the more you begin to embody that reality. Another key aspect of releasing doubt and fear is taking action in spite of them. It's easy to wait until you feel completely confident or fearless before moving forward. But the truth is, those feelings may never come if you allow doubt and fear to dictate your actions. The most successful and fulfilled individuals are not those who are free from fear or doubt, but those who have learned to act in spite of them. Each time you take action toward your goals, even if you feel doubt or fear, you build evidence that you are capable and resilient. Over time, this evidence helps to weaken the hold that these emotions have on you. Releasing doubt and fear also requires practicing self-compassion. When you encounter setbacks or failures, it's easy to fall into self-criticism, which only strengthens your doubts and fears. Instead, practice treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend in a similar situation. Recognize that setbacks are a natural part of any journey, and they do not diminish your worth or capability. By cultivating self-compassion, you create a space within yourself where doubt and fear cannot take root. Another way to release doubt and fear is by surrounding yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with can either feed your doubts and fears or help you rise above them. Seek out individuals who inspire and uplift you, those who believe in your potential and encourage you to take bold steps forward. Their energy will help to counterbalance any lingering doubts or fears you may have and provide you with the support and encouragement you need to keep moving forward. Faith also plays a crucial role in releasing doubt and fear. When you trust that there is a greater force guiding your path and that everything is unfolding as it should, it becomes easier to let go of your doubts and fears. You begin to see challenges not as signs that you are on the wrong path, but as opportunities for growth and learning. This shift in perspective helps you navigate life's uncertainties with a sense of peace and confidence, knowing that you are always being supported and guided toward your highest good. Releasing doubt and fear is not something that happens overnight. It is a continual practice. But with each step you take toward releasing these emotions, you free yourself from their limitations and step into a life of greater confidence, clarity, and purpose. You begin to realize that the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the doubt and fear you have allowed to hold you back. And when you choose to release them, you open yourself up to the infinite possibilities that life has to offer. You start living from a place of trust, where your inner conviction guides you forward, and where fear and doubt no longer have the power to control your destiny. Manifesting through faith is a profound journey that transcends mere wishful thinking. It is an active and conscious process that involves aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with a deep-seated trust in a higher power or the universe's inherent order. At its core, this practice emphasizes that what you desire is not just a dream, but a possibility that can become your reality when you cultivate a genuine belief in it. This transformative process begins with the understanding that faith is more than a passive feeling. It is a dynamic force that propels you toward your goals, even when circumstances seem challenging or uncertain. To manifest through faith, one must first cultivate a clear and specific vision of what they want to create in their lives. This vision acts as a guiding star, providing direction and purpose. However, having a vision is only the beginning. The next crucial step is to infuse that vision with faith. Faith acts as a bridge between the desire for something and its eventual manifestation. It requires you to believe wholeheartedly that what you envision is not only possible, but also destined for you. This conviction must come from deep within, resonating in every fiber of your being. Faith, in this context, is often about overcoming the natural doubts and fears that arise as you pursue your desires. It's about acknowledging those feelings without allowing them to derail you. When you encounter obstacles or setbacks, your faith becomes your anchor. Instead of seeing these challenges as insurmountable barriers, you begin to view them as opportunities for growth and learning. Each setback can serve as a catalyst for deeper understanding, teaching you valuable lessons that refine your approach to manifesting your desires. Another essential aspect of manifesting through faith is the practice of positive affirmations. By repeatedly affirming your beliefs about yourself and your abilities, you begin to reshape your subconscious mind. Affirmations serve as powerful reminders of what you are working toward and reinforce your faith in the process. For instance, statements such as "I am deserving of my dreams" or "I trust in the timing of my life" help to dismantle any limiting beliefs that may arise. These affirmations cultivate a mindset of abundance, aligning your inner dialogue with the reality you wish to create. Visualization is another potent tool in the manifestation process. By vividly imagining yourself experiencing the reality you desire, you create a mental picture that aligns with your faith. This practice engages your emotions and senses, making the experience feel real and attainable. Visualization sends a strong signal to your subconscious mind, reinforcing your belief in the possibility of your desired outcome. The more frequently you engage in this practice, the more your mind begins to accept this reality as plausible. Over time, visualization can create a powerful resonance between your inner state and the external reality you wish to manifest. Manifesting through faith also requires taking inspired action. Faith without action can lead to stagnation, as it is through our actions that we demonstrate our commitment to our desires. When you feel inspired to take steps toward your goals, no matter how small, you are actively participating in the manifestation process. These actions, driven by your faith, signal to the universe that you are serious about what you want to create. Trusting your instincts and following through on your inspirations can lead to unexpected opportunities and breakthroughs that align with your desires. Moreover, the process of manifestation is often a collaborative dance between your intentions and the universe's flow. Trusting in this flow means understanding that not everything will unfold according to your timeline or in the exact manner you envision. Faith allows you to surrender the need for control, releasing the urgency that can sometimes cloud your judgment. When you let go of this need for control, you create space for the universe to deliver opportunities and solutions in ways you may not have anticipated. This level of trust fosters a sense of ease and acceptance, allowing you to remain open to the possibilities that life presents. Building a supportive community also plays a vital role in manifesting through faith. Surrounding yourself with individuals who share similar aspirations and positive mindsets can amplify your faith. These connections create an environment that encourages growth and positivity, reinforcing your beliefs about what is possible. Sharing your journey with like-minded individuals can inspire you to stay committed to your goals, even when doubts arise. Their support can provide you with new perspectives and encouragement, helping to bolster your faith and keep you moving forward. As you embark on this journey of manifesting through faith, it is essential to remember that faith itself is a practice that requires nurturing and cultivation. Just like a muscle, it strengthens with use. Regularly engaging in practices that support your faith, such as meditation, journaling, or attending workshops, can deepen your connection to your inner self and the universe. These practices help you remain grounded in your beliefs, even amidst external chaos or uncertainty. Manifesting through faith is a powerful reminder of the inherent connection between your inner world and the external reality you create. When you cultivate a deep and unwavering faith in yourself and the universe, you empower yourself to manifest your desires with confidence and clarity. This process encourages you to step outside of your comfort zone, embrace uncertainty, and trust that every step you take is guiding you closer to your dreams. As you engage in this journey, you begin to realize that faith is not just a belief. It is the very essence that fuels your manifestations, transforming your dreams into tangible realities. In conclusion, trusting in God and embracing faith and patience on life's path is a transformative journey that shapes our reality. As we cultivate faith as our foundation, we find the strength to overcome doubt and fear, recognizing that these emotions do not define our potential. Patience becomes our guiding virtue, allowing us to navigate the uncertainties of life with grace and resilience. By letting go of control, we create space for divine guidance, aligning ourselves with a greater purpose. Moreover, the power of inner conviction empowers us to manifest our desires, reminding us that our beliefs shape our experiences. Navigating uncertainty with confidence, we learn to trust the process of life, embracing each moment as an opportunity for growth. When we release doubt and fear, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that await us. Ultimately, manifesting through faith invites us to surrender to a higher plan, allowing the universe to unfold in its perfect timing. Trusting in this divine flow not only enriches our personal journeys, but also inspires those around us. As we walk this path, we become beacons of light, demonstrating the beauty of faith and patience in action. Let us continue to nurture our connection with the divine, believing wholeheartedly that all is possible when we trust in God's timing and embrace the journey with open hearts.